Okay, and we are going live. Life is a teenager. And we're having a conversation today from someone that's transitioning from the life of being a teenager to adulthood. But he's willing to share with us some of the nuances and experiences that he had as a teenager. And the intent behind that is, of course, let you know what life is like and that there is success on the other side of being a teenager. So he's going to give an opportunity to discuss some of his challenges, if any, and some of his successes as well. So it is all yours. Take it away.
Oh, being a teenager. I mean, there's a lot to it. I mean, it gets different the older you get, the more freedoms, the more stuff you can be held liable for, your responsibilities. So, I mean, definitely don't take it for granted, but I mean, it's a really great opportunity to grow and kind of explore the world with kind of still being on training wheels, but kind of trying to get out there and explore it for yourself. So,
What are some of the hardest experiences, the toughest experiences you had probably going through middle school, if you can reflect back on some of that?
in middle school, definitely, middle school, first off, it's very cliquey. So you kind of find your friend groups and kind of stick with them and kind of like who's like a surface level friend, like kind of shallow or whatnot, and who's not. So, but like me personally, like I found like my group of guys and we just kind of stuck with each other through middle school and high school and still kind of are. I mean, like you don't have to have so many friends, but it's like those ones that are like really meaningful and will always be there for you. So,
Oh, that is really awesome. And then when you transition from middle school to high school, uh, how did you feel? You're no longer at the little kid school. You're now at the big kid school.
like I definitely viewed it, me personally, as kind of like a ladder. Like I'd already gone through the ladder of elementary school and then middle school, and I was like, oh shoot, we're starting again from square one. So kind of got to get my footing, kind of got to understand like what the schedule of the day is like how it's like seeing people have to face some tough truths that I'm probably not going to see a lot of people I was used to seeing, have to meet new people, see new faces, and kind of diversify myself, kind of be in other clubs, do all sorts of other things, and kind of get out there and not kind of shield myself away, seclude myself away. So,
Yeah, I was going to ask questions about the academics or the athletics. What appealed to you most when you got to high school?
well, definitely the athletics. So, I mean, there's lots of opportunities there. I played basketball all 4 years of high school, and I rode my eighth grade year and freshman year because you could do that your eighth grade year in ACBS. But I mean, definitely recommend doing athletics. I mean, that's a strong way to find a really good friend group and guys who like kind of stick by you and always support you. And I mean, just people who you can just hang out with even outside of school. And that's really what makes those friendships like really stick. I mean, it's not just the guys that you see in the hallway, like dap them up, hey, what's up, bro? And I mean, you're actually like hanging out outside of school. So,
Now, did you work during high school? Did you have a part-time job?
my senior year, I did.
Okay, senior. What was that like balancing work and school?
It was tough. I mean, I had a lot going on my senior year. It was a roller coaster. Like, not many seniors went through what I did. So, but it was definitely harder for me to kind of muster up the energy to follow through on my assignments. I did fall behind. I did overcommit on hours, and I had to cut back, and then I had to stop working. And I worked in the fall, and then I had to stop, and then I came back in the spring, and then just stopped just because I didn't like it anymore, and then I just picked back up a new job in the summer. And I mean, now it's just finding that work-life balance, like balancing your social relationships with your family and making sure you have enough time to get to school. Like those are the three most important things that come before that, and then you can kind of squeeze in time for work. But don't overcommit yourself. Don't be a workaholic. And if you're gonna work, do something you want to do, because if you're working for a crappy boss like I did, who kind of like, I mean, it's an entry level job, but I mean, probably most jobs like won't treat you that way. But I mean, work for something that you actually like believe in. So, but I mean, but any experience is good experience, and it shows you what you do and don't want to do. So, I mean, just get your feet in the water and just experience different things in life because that's what life's for.
So, if you had any advice for teenage males that are transitioning like you are from life as a teenager to young adulthood, what is some real good, important advice that you would pass on to them? It doesn't really matter what it is.
First and foremost, really try to think for yourself, kind of use your own brain and try to not be as reliant on others. I know it's really tempting to go to ask others for help, others for advice, but if you're encountered with a really like tough problem or any problem, really try to do your best on your own to figure it out yourself without being your first kind of intent or first kind of move to go to someone else for like help. So really kind of being more self-reliant and being able to depend on yourself and build your own kind of resilience. Because in the real world, I mean, I've experienced plenty of things, but when you're all alone, all by yourself, like mommy and daddy aren't there for you to hold your hand. And when you really experience that, like it's better to kind of wade in the water, kind of going on your own. So like when you, like, excuse my language, but when kind of shit really hits the fan, like you don't really screw yourself and you really don't know what to do. So it's really kind of have that experience, prior experience, and just kind of wade into what adulthood is like really like.
Talk to me about relationships at home with family, siblings, and parents. What is that like? That's kind of tough to navigate, isn't it, as you're growing up?
It's tough to navigate for sure, and you don't understand the importance of it when you're younger to when you're older. And I'm still relatively young, but and I mean I haven't what I've experienced most young adults haven't, but relationships are important, man. Like your parents are always there for you. They love you unconditionally, no matter what. I mean, they give you free home cooked meals, a shelter. I mean, give you all the privileges that you kind of enjoy and are kind of ignorant to. So, I mean, really appreciate it. Express your gratitude. I mean, wake up every morning, tell your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, you love them. You're grateful for them because I'm really sure they are too. But I mean, family first, man. Always.
Awesome. And one last thing, if when it comes down to hanging out with parents, because most teenagers have difficulty, especially teenage males, have difficulty hanging out with their parents or doing things with their parents. Is it cool to do that sort of thing, or is it kind of ruin your rep?
Oh
hanging out
no,
with your parents?
I mean it's fine. They don't have the same kind of vibe to it that you do with your boys, your friends, or whatnot. But later down the line, you're gonna be doing these types of family gatherings and whatnot when you're older and you can kind of indulge in more activities with your parents and have more adult conversations. Like you're gonna want to start doing those sorts of things with them. Kind of ease into it more. Kind of show your maturity and spend more time with them because they're always there for you and they definitely always want to have fun. And it's a whole new kind of level of understanding and a whole new kind of bubble that you'll pop when your parents can start hanging out with you as more of an adult than kind of like a parent, and they kind of guide you more than parenting you and governing you, if that makes sense.
It does. And we know you made that transition from high school to college, which is a huge leap. Percentages show that adult, or should I say teenage males that are transitioning into college don't necessarily fare very well that first and second year. And you've been transitioning quite nicely. What advice would you have for those young men that are contemplating college and then, of course, negotiating and navigating all of the financial hubbub that's associated with it, but just the nuances associated with getting into the college life? What advice would you have?
So coming into college, I mean, high school is totally different. You kind of have to come in, like, kind of scrap away all your high school achievements, whatever you've accomplished there. You got to start with a clean slate, kind of kill your ego. You got to start fresh. I mean, I know it's a lot, but I mean, high school is easy for some people. It could be hard, but teachers are there to kind of hold your hand and chase you down for stuff. In college, that's not how it is. If you fail, you fail. I mean, you can't just show up and expect to get an A. You got to take notes. You got to study a lot outside of school, outside of the class. Like, it's all on your own time. And it's really all about time management. And if you can nail that time management, you will definitely get good grades. I definitely promise you that. Me personally, I struggled with that my first semester. I mean, I was able to pull it together, but it definitely taught me a thing or two about college. And I mean, definitely for a lot of these other guys kind of leaving high school, coming into college, like really coming with that mindset, you gotta put your academics first. You work hard, you play hard, like don't worry about all this partying, all this other sorts of stuff. Like I mean, yes, friends and all that are great, but that'll come later. Like you gotta think about what your primary focus is and your purpose is for being at college. I guarantee you like 99% of them are there to get a degree for their education. You're not there to go like party and whatnot, like get wasted and whatnot like a lot of these other kids. Just stay focused, do what's right. And I mean, for the financial stuff, definitely take advantage of what you can with these scholarships and financial aid. There's plenty of opportunity out there, and make sure you do it on time, and even early before the deadline, because there are a lot of kids out there who like kind of turn the blind eye and really take it for granted and really don't chase these sorts of things. And it can be first come, first serve. And if you have good grades and you really pursue that stuff, you can not have to pay for a lot of classes. You could potentially get a full ride. You could get a lot of stuff paid for. There's a lot of grants, a lot of stuff for different companies, organizations, different schools and whatnot, academic programs and whatnot. So, I mean, really go after that sort of stuff, and it can definitely help further you in your career. It can get you connections, meet different types of people that can pretty much guide you on internships or different job opportunities to get your feet in different paths of careers, to find your interests if you don't like something, if you do. But I mean, it's all there to help you, but it's really on you to go chase it. They're not gonna, they'll present it to you, but you have to be the one to fill those forms out, get them in on time, write those short little essays about yourself, get your parents to help you. But I mean, it's all to help you, but what you put in, you get out. And if you put minimal effort in, that's what you're gonna get. But if you put the maximum amount of effort in, then it's gonna get you somewhere in life.
Outstanding. Yeah. So what do you want to do beyond college?
So beyond college, for me, for my career, like it's been a hell of a journey. I mean, I've been switching up my mind here and there, but I definitely want to go into something finance related. So I thought I wanted to do healthcare, just work in healthcare. But as I become an adult, I've really started to pay more attention to the economy and really the importance of it. You could really see it nowadays with inflation. And I really think a lot of young adults, I really think you should start paying attention to what's going on in the real world, especially our country's politics. I know people really hate it, but adults have to pay attention to that, because when you turn 18, you can vote. And a lot of this stuff, whether it's the local, state, or national level, it will impact you at the end of the day. And if you learn like how to pay taxes and all this sorts of other stuff, like what to do, then it's really going to help you. And I mean, I really want to work with helping people like manage their money, know how to use their money, and really help them get to point A to point B in just making a mortgage or whatnot, like kind of like a financial kind of person. That's what I want to do. So
all right, awesome. Well, a dynamic interview on the insights of young manhood into the world of adulthood, especially on the college side. And we definitely appreciate you taking the time to talk to us on today.